Good morning, everyone. It's Roz here. Well, today I wanted to talk about geldings that act like studs and stallions. One of the interesting things about Bill is he's always had very strong guarding instincts towards Bella and myself. And because of that, he's been called Studdy, and he probably is Studdy in many ways. But look, the benefits of him being protective is that it's given Bella a peace that she didn't have when I first got her, and that over the years, as he's matured and he's shown very strong guarding skills when it comes to her, she's really developed and relaxed and become very much a peaceful mare through his interactions. So probably on the downside, she's very dependent upon him. He's not as dependent upon her, but he serves his role very importantly in looking after her. And as you can see in this video clip, that he stands next to her and over the top of her, watching her so that she can actually have a good quality sleep. So not only is she laying down, but she actually lays her head down. And I've cut the video short, but she sleeps for a considerable period of time, which unfortunately many horses in artificial environments are not able to do because they don't have that same sense of security. So there are real benefits to having a gelding or a stud that takes his job seriously of looking after the herd. Guarding behaviour in geldings is a negative, and I can understand that to a point because it makes them unpredictable when it comes to dealing with herd behaviours. And of course we always want control over our horses, for various reasons. Number one is not to be hurt, and not to have horses that have got separation anxiety. So there's many reasons, but geldings are born males, and I think people forget that even without testicles or, being a rig or proud cut, however you want to say it, there are many male horses who still act male because they were born male. They spent, that time in the womb having a biological program go through their body. And so they're always going to have those attributes regardless of whether they're being gelded or not. And in Billy's case, he's not aggressive towards me in any way or form. He takes his job, though, looking after Bella, seriously. He never comes at me, never tries to harm me, but he does look after Bella in the best way that he sees fit, and that is to take care of her when she's laying down, having a sleep. Sometimes he'll get her up if he thinks she's been down too long. There are lots of little things that he does each day. If he sees a threat, he sometimes will herd her away from the threat in a very gentle manner. So the role he takes on for him is an important one, and I don't think it's a negative. One of the things that Bill does is fecal marking, and you can see he's actually about to do it here right on the spot in front of Bella, which is annoying for her. But for whatever reason, she's chosen to lay with her back onto the sheep pen because she's found a comfortable spot. But it's also his fecal marking territory, and he has certain spots around the paddock which he marks. And so whether he's doing it to show her that that's his territory, who knows? But it is another stud-like behaviour of his. Another interesting pattern that has developed over the years as Bill's matured. When he was younger, he was very much in submission to Bella, but now he's between 7 and 8, and he's actually got to his full maturity. We noticed over the last year that a lot of his patterns of behaviour became increasingly dominant, and not in a negative way. So as you've probably seen, him and Bella rumble on a regular basis. Bella's an extremely bossy mare, always has been, and it was probably one of the reasons I ended up getting her, is that she was vying for the top position, and she's a big, strong mare, and liked to get her own way. She still does. I mean, she's a soft, sweet girl now, but part of the reason she's balanced out emotionally is that once Bill got to that age where he could stand up for himself successfully, when she was being out of control or overly dominant, he would retaliate. Now, he doesn't ever hurt her. I don't think I've ever seen a mark on her. I've only ever seen him boot her once. Other than that, he uses his body and he mimics threats to move her around and to re-establish for him that leadership role. And it happens at different times of the month. If she's like in season and feeling really moody, he just gets out the way. He just leaves her alone and lets her get on with it until she gets through it and wants to have company with him. But generally when she's not in season, she uses him for comfort. He's happy to comfort her. If she's being pushy or dominant, he pushes back. If he is misbehaving around me, she will assert her authority. Like if he's just when I say misbehaving around me, he just wants attention first, so he tries to push in and get loving first, or he wants me to have a game with him. He's just generally wanting attention, and she finds it offensive. She will discipline him, and if you've watched any of my videos when you see her actively bite him, it's usually because she wants him out the way from me, and she doesn't like his intent, or she thinks his intent is too pushy around me. And so it's very interesting to watch the dynamics between the two of them. Now it's hard to see because it's still pretty dark, but I'd put the hay in. Bill is in an aroused state and Bella's come in from the background and she's moved his feet because she didn't like his attitude towards me, even though he wasn't really doing anything. It was about his attitude and her protectiveness towards me.
So for those of you who don't really understand social behaviour in horses, the reason why Bella stands next to Billy like this, and she does it all the time with her head to his flank, it's a form of comfort. Years ago you'd never see her do that. She'd use his tail as a fan in the summer, which he loathed, but as she's got older and he's taken over that authority position as the herd protector, she draws a lot of comfort from him. She also draws comfort from me, but that's her main priority in life, is just drawing comfort. She really likes that, and she's gone from being a very reactive mare to a loving mare who just wants to be loved, and sometimes it annoys Bill, as you can see, but most of the time he takes his job very seriously. And yes, he is a gelding. He is a Studdy Gelding, but he's a gelding that is very loving and kind and bonded with Bella. Trying to ward off Bella. He doesn't want her to. Now here we go. They're being horrible. And he's always much more dramatic about it. Bella's taken to one eating with the sheep because Billy pushed her out. I'll have to give her some hay for herself because he's not going to share this morning.
There is never a true winner between these two. Billy is
so that one of
relentless
them
and Bella has size and
share with the other.
determination. She usually will give way in the end only because he's relentless and he won't give up until he gets his way. It's interesting dynamics because, again, people who think that their roles in herd hierarchy are stagnant, it's not true. With my two, it goes backwards and forwards every day, and including even with myself. Now, Bella never challenges me, but Bill will test my boundaries every day because he wants the top position, and not in a nasty way. But he's always measuring me and testing me just to see if I'm still on top of my game as well. Taking on a dominant or studdy gelding is not for inexperienced owners. A lot of the incidents and accidents that I see in the horse world is when there's the wrong combination of an inexperienced handler or owner with a gelding that is studdy or dominant, and it doesn't take long for that horse to work out that the owner doesn't have the presence or the ability to stand their ground or know how to. And it can get nasty. It can get nasty with the owner striking the horse and the horse striking the owner back. A studdy gelding is more likely to fight back than to be put up with being hit or abused. So it's a situation that can get really out of control. You really need to know what you're doing and how to use calm authority around studdy type geldings, because you need to earn their respect and their love. And you must realise with horses it's never personal. A lot of people see aggressive horse behaviour as a personal affront to themselves and their own ego. It's not. Horses, if you watch horses, they constantly interact with each other. Sometimes it's negative, most of the time it's positive. But if it's like a battle over resources or control, horses retaliate with each other all the time until one gives way. That's how they do things. So as owners, you must understand that they play a role, a herd role, and they don't necessarily play human roles, which unfortunately inexperienced people tend to think that just because they love the horse and the horse has a deep bond with them, that it's going to behave like a human. Horses don't behave like humans, they behave like horses. So as you can see, for the time being, the horses have reached a status quo where neither is interested in pushing the other one out for the resources. And both horses get plenty of resources. They're never starved. They never go hungry. For a lot of their going backwards and forwards is simply herd hierarchy and that ever-changing dynamic, and their personality types. Bill's an extrovert, so he performs, and Bella's an introvert, and she gets moody. So when she's moody, she'll take it out on him. So look, there's no winners or losers really in this situation. So if you like our channel, please subscribe and hit the like button. I'm not a horse expert, but I am someone who's had horses for nearly 40 plus, nearly 50, actually, probably closer to 50 years of my life on and
Thanks,
off.
Bill.
And I've just tried to share a little bit of wisdom that
Oh
I've
dear.
gained over the years.
You're going to go and have a hissy fit because you're waiting for your apple treats.